This topic is also timely because libraries are really embracing sustainability in a big way. In 2022, the American Library Association adopted sustainability as a core value. And this is the cover of this month's edition of the American Libraries magazine. And so yeah, so I just want to move on. I know we're running a little bit behind time, so I want to move on and introduce Crew and Rachel. Libraries are really seeing themselves as climate resilience hubs. It's one of the things that they talked about in that American Libraries magazine. So our special guest today is going to be able to tell us a little bit more about how libraries are becoming these resilience hubs. Rachael Boyce is the Climate Justice and Resilience Manager at Better Future Project, and she has many duties, but one of them is that she coordinates the Climate Resilience Hubs program and has worked directly with community institutions all around the country, including libraries. And they're educating their residents about extreme weather preparedness, about the local impacts of climate change, the threats that they may see in their communities. So I'm going to turn it over to Rachael now to tell us more about climate resilience hubs and how libraries in particular are preparing their communities for more frequent and severe storms.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you for sharing your narrative. It's always a really hard thing to do, I think, and a vulnerable place to be to share your narrative. So thank you for sharing that with us today. And thank you for having me join your monthly call. Laura already introduced me, but I just want to Rachel Boyce, Climate Justice and Resilience Manager for the Better Future Project, and work on our CREW program, Communities Responding to Extreme Weather. Next slide, please. So I just want to take a quick moment to orient Crew within the Better Future Project programs because there's a good chance that some of you or all of you know the Better Future Project or know one of our other programs. Holistically, the core focus of our work at the Better Future Project is building short and long-term resilience in an increasingly changing climate. And we think about resilience in two ways. Oftentimes, resilience is a buzzword that's thrown out a lot, but I really want to break it down to there's two different types of resilience: climate resilience and social resilience. Climate resilience often focuses on disaster response, but it is also the anticipation of a shifting environment. Examples of this are rain gardens, shifting physical infrastructure away from coastlines, and planting trees. These are actions we can take during times of relative stability to ensure that our lived environment and therefore ourselves are able to adapt to a changing climate. Social resilience focuses on the enhancement and adaptation of the social fabric. These are our social networks, our cultural centers, mutual aid networks, social services, etc. And actually, if you want to go back to the previous slide. Yeah, thanks. We approach climate and social resilience in different ways across Better Future Project's three programs. First and foremost is strength-based and community-formed resources. This is how our communities adapt and evolve to our changing environment while paying particular attention to the disproportionate impacts marginalized communities face. This is a community by community process that assesses strengths to amplify and challenges to address. After assessing community resources, we focus on education. Beyond its current assets, what additional resources does a community need to build resilience? So CREW works across these two areas and overlaps with Better Future Project's grassroots advocacy and organizing arm, 350 Mass, which is possibly what everyone here is familiar with, on community engagement and education. And last but not least is our grassroots advocacy for community-informed policies, because it's communities that know best what we need in order to build resilience. Amongst our numerous legislative priorities and what I do in addition to my work with CREW is I'm a co-lead on the Make Polluters Pay campaign. That's a climate change superfund bill that funds climate-related damages and prepares Massachusetts communities and infrastructure for future extreme weather events. Community-informed policies are where 350 Mass overlaps with our Make Polluters Pay campaign. So as you see, there are many different ways to go about building social and climate resilience, and we do some of them through Better Future Project. Next slide, please. So let's dive specifically into CREW. CREW started as a resilience hub network. Resilience hubs are a model for community-based resources grounded in local leadership. Thinking back to Laura's powerful narrative as that she shared with us at the beginning of this call, when climate emergencies strike, the first responders are often your communities. They're the ones that are there before the emergency, they're the ones that are there during the emergency, and they're the ones that are there during recovery. Yes, we rely on or have relied on federal funding, which is going to be, significantly reduced. But it is our communities that sustain us through climate emergencies. These hubs around the country are libraries, houses of worship, community centers, and other trusted community spaces that respond to the everyday needs, periodic disruptions, and subsequent recovery of communities. Another large part of our programming is Climate Preparedness Week. I'll dive deeper into both the Hub Network and Climate Preparedness Week in the upcoming slides. I just want to, here's like the lay of Crew's work. We do not have time to delve into the regional planning projects we collaborate on, but I wanted to quickly mention that due to our community-centric focus, we've increasingly been sought out to support regional planning in the Northeast. And so that has drawn a lot of our attention in the last couple of years. This has not deterred from our work on resilience hubs, but has definitely recalibrated our approach to building community resilience and has just allowed us to work more deeply, more intentionally in the communities that are immediately surrounding us. Next slide, please. Thanks. So resilience hubs, more broadly, operate in three different modes: everyday engagement, disruption, and recovery. Hubs operate as everyday engagement centers about 99% of the time. And one of the great reasons why libraries are our ideal hub, so we have 162 hubs across the country, most of them are libraries, is because libraries are already providing resources to education. They're already gathering places. They are already a core part of most communities. Hubs spend less than 1% of the time operating to serve disruption and recovery. During these periods, hubs can be central gathering areas during emergencies, distribute resources, be an operating post of municipal emergency management officials, and provide a central organizing space for volunteer networks and recovery organizations. Again, additional reasons why libraries are strong models for resilience hubs, because libraries are already doing all of this work. They're collecting the stories, they're acting as a gathering place, they're bringing the communities together in times of healing, but also in times of strength to like build up resilience before the next disaster strikes. The libraries around the country, again, already trust the spaces where community members look to for guidance and connection. Next slide, please. So this is our network. We currently have 162 hubs nationwide, and the majority are concentrated in the Northeast. Probably, and this has already been spoken to earlier in the presentation by both Diane and Laura. One of the greatest challenges of the hub network is crew. We do not offer direct financial support for the hub leaders. So each of our hub leaders, most of them librarians, are already doing this resilience organizing on top of their full-time jobs. And if they're working in a region of the country where resilience is not built into the municipal vocabulary, they're carrying that torch of resilience for their communities. So this means that across these 162 hubs, programming and interface with their communities and the broader network will vary from location to location. Next slide, please. But we do ask that at minimum, each one of these hubs is able to operate on this lower end of the spectrum of a resilience hub, of being an engagement center. Most of our, as I've already said, most of our hubs are libraries, and since libraries are often used as cooling and heating centers, many of them are actually also able to serve as this relief station, sort of like the middle of the spectrum of being a resilience hub, since they're already operated as cooling centers, heating centers, somewhere where you can go to plug in your phone or use the computer if the internet has gone down, somewhere for you to seek shelter temporarily during the day. Next slide, please. So out of the crew events, Climate Prep Week, Climate Preparedness Week is the most widely advertised and attended both within our Resilience Hub network and amongst our climate justice partners nationwide. Someone does not need to be a crew resilience hub in order to participate. It is always the final 7 days of September, which is also National Preparedness Month. While crew works year-round to prepare communities for extreme weather, this week is a focus week of programming to raise awareness of the connection between climate change, extreme weather, and varying levels of community impact. It's a great vehicle to engage with communities on all things related to climate change and a great opportunity to connect local programming with a national movement around climate resilience. Each year, we choose a different theme and ask partners nationwide to host events alongside our crew national events. So here are the themes and a few central events from the past 3 years, but you can see the full programs on our Climate Prep Week website, which I've linked in the action guide. It's under the resources listed under crew communities responding to extreme weather. I especially want to highlight the Sustainable Living Library program led by Alyssa Valenti Krosky in 2022, and the Depaving and Other Nature-Based Solutions workshop conducted by various community partners in 2024. Both of these events highlighted awesome opportunities for community members of all ages to participate in. I've dropped those links. I'm going to drop these in the chat real quickly. But again, they're also linked in the action toolkit under the resources section. Next slide, please. So how can you get involved? If your library is not already a library, ask them if they're interested in joining. I'm happy to jump on a call with any representative of a library to talk through like what does it mean to be a part of the crew network. It costs nothing to join, and again, as I'd already said, we do not offer financial assistance for libraries to join. But they get access to a network of experts. We host a speaker and workshop series. We provide educational resources through our shared drive, and we support hub programming during Climate Prep Week. If they're not interested in becoming a hub, encourage them to participate in Climate Prep Week. If staff capacity is an issue, offer to lead or co-lead climate programming. This could be something from the Sustainable Living Library programs, that the program that I already shared in the chat and it's available through the toolkit, or could be leading a story hour. And lastly, pass a municipal resolution in your town or city declaring the final week of September Climate Prep Week. Some of our most successful hubs across the country are in areas where resilience is a core feature of municipal planning across many sectors. One organization or community member or library is not able to carry the torch of resilience. It truly does take a village. So it's passing a municipal resolution pushes your city and town in the direction of embracing resilience as one of their core principles. And I also put a copy of the draft, so it's a Climate Prep Week resolution template in the resources guide as well, but I will also drop it in the chat. And next slide, there's questions.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And if anybody has questions, feel free to add them to the chat as we continue.